Okay, moving on to the next, which is this one. Click over here, assign new material. So you have the Phong E, which is the same as that of Phong, but have some sort of shininess and glossiness. As you can see, all the things looking same, but there is a slightly difference. By default, the transparent, ambient and incandescence value is set to be 0, that means at the first, but then also it is somehow a little bit more shiner and glossiness as compared to this Phong. Okay, so right now you have all the panels like which we have discussed earlier. Control D and we'll just duplicate the same, and we'll just copy Shift D for having result repeated. Just make some gap between them. That would be fine. So right now I will select this part, right click, assign new material, and in Maya you have the ramp shader. Ramp shader basically works like a gradient, so you have many colors in a particular model, and what you have to do, it doesn't have that reflection bump and all. Yeah, you can work for the same, but right now you have more color features. As you can see here, you have incandescence value, you have the color material attributes and transparency and all, which is just below at your window. Okay, so here we have the selected color, which is more important. You can just have any mask and any texture which will placed on your model, and you can also click over here and just make some points. If you click, then a point will form. So at first you have to just click over here, go to the selected colors, and then you have a pop-up window which is the color window. So you can also click over here, so you have the features which is just have a separate in a particular window. Same thing like here, but it's a small version, it's a large version. Okay, nothing problem. Just select this point, go to the click and color, and if I just select the red, as you notice only red is there. Okay, no problem. Okay, as you can see, there is a slightly difference at its corner. So we'll just go to again ramp shader, and here we'll just put some more points like clicking, and we'll select that point. If you select any of the point, it will highlight in white. Click over here, just go to the green. As you can see, both the colors are now casting on your model. Okay, click over here and just click and just have a bluish. Okay, like this way. If you go through the render settings and just render the same, as you can find that the two colors are just combining, and also it has some blue softness bouncing at its corners. So like this way ramp works basically. And right now I will just select this one and right click and assign new material, and here you have the surface shader. This is basically for having your shadow which is been forming by the casting of the light. So if you're working in the shadow and the light, then you have to work in the surface shader, because after that you have to bake the texture and the lighting. So baking is basically when you are done with it, if you want to just bake your light and the texture and the shadow and the texture, so all the things will be baked like a texture. Okay, if you are using the light, then also it will just form into the texture, and your shadow which is casting through the light will also become the texture. So baking is important. If you are using the surface shader, you definitely have to go to the baking. As you can see, there will be nothing showing on your screen because we have applied the shadow pass, which is also known as the shadow pass, like this way. And go to surface shader again, and you have some outer glow color, but as you can see is this, it will form like a light. See, it will just form like a light. It has the feather and all, just fade it off. So you have outer matte opacity, you have outer color. If you just increase, definitely your scene will change. Outer transparency, it will just allow you to do the transparent on your model. And see, it has some sort of bounciness over here also. The glossiness is very high. Definitely it's gonna inside, and then afterwards it just faded off on your screen. Okay, the model which is nearby is also affecting, as you can see here. And the last one is that if I just select and just assign new material and last is the use background. This is basically to use the background. Background means maybe it would be a texture, maybe it would be a image. So we are just putting these shaders, as you can see, which we have left, it's not showing anything. So here you have the use background tab, you have the specular color. Click over here, you can have attach anything like mountain and all. Click over here again, you can go to refractivity, you can attach any maps. So like this way you can have, okay. For renderable, after that you will not see anything, you will just not see anything because light is not present at your scene. Definitely if the light will bounce to your surface, it will show all the things. That's the main important parameters. So for having textures and all, when light will bounce in it, definitely it gonna show on your screen. You have shadow mask, you can just put the texture over here. You have refractivity, reflection limit and all. So like this way you can have the different shading features inside your Maya, and you can also work for the same. These are the common and these are the most useful, and this will present in all version of your Maya. So that's a basic one, because we are in Maya software. If you change to any of the thing like hardware or even Arnold, definitely all the panels will change. New panel will come, or maybe this will be removed and the new panel will replace the same. So that's the third party plugin. Okay, we'll discuss this, we have separate tutorial for that. So in the next session we will understand how you can just select any particular part and do the texturing in that part and do some sort of tweaking inside your scene. So let's continue to the next session.